Hey guys, Open Up here. Gonna be doing a reaction to Crash vs. Spyro Death Battle. So, this will be fun. I know I've played both games. I hated Crash Bandicoot. That game sucked. Spyro was a ton of fun though. And I put a biz on Spyro because it depends on what Spyro they use. If they have older Spyro, then Crash has a better advantage. But the more advanced Spyro, who can use basically every element imaginable, Crash is screwed. Especially since Spyro has more skills. So yeah, let's get to the video. 3, 2, 1. Softer than usual.
The early
But then I have
1980s played host
I'm
to
still
one
working
of
on
the
my
biggest
volume
battlegrounds
too.
the world had ever seen. The Console Wars.
Nintendo and Sega's mascots were locked in a merciless duel over
I like
the gaming
Nintendo.
throne.
But when the smoke cleared, a surprise third challenger was rising to the top.
The Sony PlayStation.
Oh
It didn't
yeah, I
have
love
just
that.
one mascot.
Sony.
It had two.
Spyro was the
Crash
best.
Bandicoot, the mutated marsupial from Down Under.
And Spyro the Dragon, the powerful purple hero of the Dragon Realm. He's
Spyro.
whizzing on Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who
Looks
would
like they're
win
going to be using
a
a
death battle.
Oh, we'll have to see.
Listen, I admire another brilliant doctor of science as much as the next guy, especially those with grand plans to take over the world. But I'm not sure Dr. Neo Cortex
I've never seen that
makes the cut.
cartoon.
Why not?
I didn't even
He's
know
an
there
evil
was one.
genius who made a mutant Aussie army of animals to take over the world.
Sure, but when it came time to assign a general for this army, Cortex chose, of all things, a Bandicoot.
Yes. Are you high or just incredibly stupid? I assure you, I am not high.
Panda what? You're making that up.
It's a real animal. Look,
Oh, hey, it's kinda cute.
Aw,
How's that
never
little thing
knew
gonna
that
take over
existed.
the world?
with the Evolve
You learn
array,
something new.
Cortex did successfully mutate it into a powerful beast. However, when he tried to brainwash the creature, he utterly failed to create his fearsome general. Instead, he got Crash Bandicoot.
So Cortex threw him
Okay.
in like trash, and Crash became his worst nemesis ever. Which is super embarrassing, because this Panda Crash is a few snags short of a Barbie.
Shut up! You don't know nothing about anything.
But his physical abilities make up for it. He's got parkour
I've
skills like
played almost the
nobody's
entire game.
Which is appropriate, as Bandicoots are excellent jumpers, similar to their marsupial cousin, the kangaroo.
He's got superhuman strength and can take a big hit and just keep on going, like an Energizer Bunny. Of
I didn't know they
rage.
had that
Crash
type
can
of
double
cartoon
jump in
too.
midair, slide
Weird.
incredible distances, and use Crash Dash to boost his speed.
He's also tapped into Mojo, a magic substance that's basically life energy, to enhance his battle techniques. He's got his Norris Roundhouse and Triple Dragon, but his favorite move is the Cyclone Spin.
You can even give this move a boost for the Death Tornado technique, though this can leave him dizzy and prone to counterattacks. Still, these brutal moves proved incredibly useful for rescuing his fellow mutant Bandicoot girlfriend, Tawna.
Oh, why does she look like that? She's like really hot, but also not at the same time? I'm really confused.
While Crash's
Pretty
natural
much.
abilities were enough to save her, his future battles with Cortex would require more sophisticated tools.
Yeah, like the Rad Copter Pack. He's even got himself the Unicorn of Motorsports, a space motorcycle. What I wouldn't give for one of those.
To increase his
Boom.
firepower, he carries a special bazooka that uses a naturally occurring and easily attainable form of ammunition.
I never played that part of the
The
game.
same kind of fruit shooter that's on his power loader suit from Alien. I mean, this completely generic looking mech.
Why fruit? I can't imagine it's a particularly effective projectile.
I don't know, Wiz. Remember that time I shot you with my potato gun?
Kick-ass! Did you see that?
Oh, those are painful.
Coma for like a month.
Wait, what? You told me I lost that month because my time travel wristwatch finally worked.
Oh, well, where's Crash getting all this cool tech? He can't be building it all himself. He's
Maybe his
pretty dumb.
girlfriend?
They're all thanks to his kid sister, Coco,
Oh.
who's 10 times the inventor Cortex is.
Oh, I
Crash
remember that
isn't
part of the
really
game.
Dumb. He just lacks communication skills. He actually shows many symptoms of autism. Some people with autism, known as
Yep.
savants, are extraordinarily gifted in particular skill sets, and I think that describes Crash perfectly. While he may not know how to hold a conversation, he is a superb athlete and puzzle solver.
Well, I'm sure it helps.
Yeah,
that he's
conversations
surrounded
for
by
me is a
friends
little
who
hard.
encourage his better traits.
But problem solving is pretty darn fast
Hey, that was
if
a good
someone
one.
could teach me.
Like Aku Aku,
I still have yet
his
to figure out how to
magical
clip
masked foster
videos.
dad, who's basically a god.
Well,
Lucky
images.
bastard.
Aku Aku's magical mojo prowess is quite impressive. He's very protective of Crash and will often step in when Crash is in trouble. But not always.
Why can he teleport across dimensions on his own, but can't teleport Crash very far at all?
This is as far as I can take us. We'll have to fight our way to the robot's interior and save your sister.
Okay.
Well, perhaps his fatherly intuition is kicking in, encouraging Crash to learn from his own mistakes and become his own man, or Bandicoot.
Yeah, maybe he's just being a dick.
Well, thanks to Aku Aku and his own amazing abilities, Crash has performed some incredible feats while stopping Cortex's plans time and
This
time again.
house is
He's
sold.
strong enough to lift his adopted brother Crunch over his head. Since Crunch is at least twice as big as Crash, that would mean Crash's strength is similar to the world's best powerlifters.
His cyclone attack can generate enough force to lift this large boulder and throw it so hard it shatters
Never
on
played that
impact.
one.
Comparing its size to Crash, that boulder must weigh nearly 8 tons.
He's also fast enough to outrun polar bears, which can move up to 25 miles per hour. But Crash really shines when it comes to durability. Just look at how well he holds up after taking 112 falling wooden crates to the face.
Where do they all come from?
I bet it's Aku Aku's fault. And he's right back up like it didn't even happen. What a champ.
Crash has endured an explosion of 23 crates of TNT all at once, which, given their size, could potentially level a city block. And with the help of Aku Aku, he even survived a crash landing from outer space.
What the heck is up with his hair?
This vessel was likely falling at 17,500 miles per hour, similar to the space shuttle's typical re-entry, which means the force of its collision would be equivalent to more than 2 million tons of TNT.
Wait, but why
If
did
he's willing
Aku
to
Aku
spot
just teleport
Lyra's
them to
entire
safety?
hunting, then I still go with
Can't
Spyro.
believe we're okay.
Oh, are you kidding me, Aku? You know what you did. Or didn't do. But what's the saying? Any Crash you can walk away from, right? Plus, given how easy it is for Crash's enemies to lure him into traps, his absurd durability is crucial.
Well, Crash isn't perfect, but with his amazing abilities and a little bit of mojo, he's saved the whole world many times over.
And after years of this, he even finally learned how to speak.
Now let's go home and eat pancakes. Pancakes!
Wait, that's it?
Prophecy tells of a special
Oh, I've never seen
dragon
that map.
born every 10 generations. Destined
Yes,
to be a
they're doing
hero
the full
of his
story,
name.
then I go with Spyro.
This was the legend of Spyro.
I
But
love
when
that
the ancient
game.
Dark Master Malifaux learned
I
of
miss
this,
it.
he swore to destroy Spyro before he even hatched.
By the way, there are at least 3 different
that was the
timelines
very
for
first one I played.
Spyro,
I
but
loved
we're
it.
mainly sticking with
Never
the
played
Legend
that
of
one.
Spyro version because he can do pretty much anything the other ones can and more. Plus, I think they're all the same Spyro reincarnated anyway, since that's what the prophecy says. And look, that's totally Skylands being made at the end of Dawn of the Dragon.
Yep.
Ahem. Wild fan theories aside, Spyro was saved from Malfor's wrath by Ignitus, a guardian dragon. He decided to pull a Moses and send Spyro's egg floating down a river to who knows where. Okay, why do so
World of
many
Warcraft
stories
does
start
that
with people
too.
just throwing babies into rivers?
A blue
It's
baby?
never a
What?
good idea.
Wrong, Wiz. It worked out fine for Spyro. He was found and adopted by a family of dragonflies. And even without fellow dragons around, Spyro grew up to be a pretty good fighter. He's strong, tough, and makes good use of his horns, tail, and claws.
But not his wings. Not yet. Without a dragon's parentage, Spyro remained mostly grounded during his childhood.
But he got pretty good at using his head.
Oh, that
Like
one.
The fun way, not the brainy stuff. You do not want to be on the other end of his charge attack.
But one fateful day, everything changed. During a game of hide and seek with his quote-unquote brother, Sparks, they got into a bit of monkey business. And, in desperation, Spyro unexpectedly breathed fire. This was Spyro's first hint that he was adopted.
Hold up! You mean he thought
Like,
he was an actual
just like
dragonfly
Kung
the
Fu
whole time?
Panda.
I can think of a few other hints, like, I don't know, anytime he saw his reflection.
This revelation prompted Spyro to go on a journey in search of his true home among other dragons. Oh, and Sparks tagged along to help find treasure and protect his dragon brother from harm.
Not like he needed it.
He never
He's the
did.
chosen one, bitch. He's got a bunch of awesome dragon
He
powers.
just was
As a
an
purple
annoying
dragon,
guy the
Spyro
whole
was
time.
not limited to just his fire breath. After finding and rescuing 4 great dragon guardians, they each became his teachers in the arts of elemental combat.
Ignitus taught Spyro how to control fire and focus it into huge blasts.
I
Voltaire showed him how to
rarely use
electric
those
breath
ultimate
to
attacks.
stun enemies and toss them through the air. Cyril taught him to freeze foes solid and fire ice shards. And Parador showed him how to use earth breath to split rocks and roll up into a ball.
Spyro
Never done
also
that.
honed his physical and chi combat with the martial art of Dragon Kata. Oh, and he finally learned how to fly.
Well, lottie fucking da!
About time.
Speaking of which, Spyro learned how to briefly slow down time to improve his reactions.
That was actually a fun move to use.
All of this led to Spyro learning the ultimate element.
Okay, that cancerous thing as an advertisement is finally gone.
The convexity breath.
Ether.
Convexity.
That's his girlfriend
It's ether.
right
No,
there.
stupid, everyone
To be,
calls it
she was just
convexity.
being corrupted at the
Okay.
time.
Purple dragons like Spyro can use a mysterious energy that is essentially the spiritual life force of the universe. While it's never officially named in canon, lead concept artist Jared Polin has gone on record to clarify its name and properties, and he calls it Ether. Eat that, boomstick.
Don't convex me with.
I put my bids on him.
No, I'm right.
Ether
Spyro's
is an
more
extremely
OP.
powerful element which binds the fates of the living and the dead. With Ether, Spyro pulls from the 4 elements to create energy which, according to Polin, has power comparable to that of an atom smasher.
Damn.
Isn't that the thing that shoots an atom around at light speed for all sorts of sciencey stuff?
Yes, they're particle accelerators with a moving photon beam containing 362 megajoules of energy.
Dang.
Yeah, I said that.
This beam can slice through a human skull in a nanosecond. Just like what happened to Russian scientist Anatoly Bugorsky when he stuck his head in one of them.
Fucking idiot.
Why the hell would he do that? God, being Russian must be hard.
Bugorsky took a beam less than a molecule thick through the skull, which obliterated all matter in its path in an instant. While he survived, half of his face around the microscopic hole in his head swelled, peeled apart, and was permanently paralyzed, while he experienced a blinding light he described as brighter than 1,000 suns.
Hey, Spyro, what was that about? I don't really know. I just felt like I had to hit
The
it.
voice of,
And when I did, the
Frodo
power of
from
1,000
Lord of the
suns
Rings.
surged through my body.
Just imagine if that beam was the size of Spyro's super breath. No, wait, you don't need to. We've seen what it's like when he killed the Ape King.
Of course, Spyro's ether powers have other uses as well, such as curing his fellow dragon Cinder of Malfor's corruption.
And his
Is
girl,
he shooting
who is his
ghosts
girlfriend.
at her? What kind of magic were they smoking when they came up with that?
But ether is dependent on a balance between light and dark. Should a purple dragon fall prey to their own anger and hatred, they risk being consumed by dark ether, or nether, transforming into a blackened, rage-filled form.
Spyro's a really nice guy, but as Dark Spyro, he lets loose. He's stronger, faster, and way more violent.
Unfortunately, when Spyro's consumed by dark ether, he cannot return to his old self on his own. But with friends like Sparks and Cinder at his side, he's always found his way back.
I remember that part. It was cute.
Power of love. Right, Spyro?
You gotta believe!
With all these powers at his claw tips, Spyro is a force to be reckoned with. He's pretty quick, outracing biplanes that can fly over 159 miles per hour.
He's pushed a gold statue about twice his size, and he's pretty tough, claiming his scales are impenetrable.
So I'm electricity-proof too? I knew my scales were impenetrable, but now this?
A bold claim, but let's look at the facts. Spyro once took a punch from this massive magma golem, which
Yeah, I remember that fight.
and replaced it with a cathedral tower. This cathedral is very similar in size to St. Stephen's Basilica, a Roman Catholic church in Budapest, Hungary. By taking the height, length, and depth of the basilica and adjusting for empty space, we can estimate the arm's mass to weigh over 400,000 tons. Assuming a low-end punching speed of 15 miles per hour, that of the average humans, the golem must have hit with at least 1.9 million tons of force.
And after getting all these powers, saving the dragons, and defeating the Dark Master himself,
Right in the core of the earth.
Spyro tapped into ether one last time to literally pull the exploding planet back together.
Tried to.
What? How the hell? How?
I'd say a mix of the power of love, magic of friendship, and a smidgen of prophetic destiny.
You've got a gay.
Wiz, I want a pet dragon more than anything.
It's a sad sight, Sparks. Another noble
damn son.
warrior falls victim to the plague of love. Just look away.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
Not
But first,
expecting that.
let me tell you about the mascot of good food, Blue Apron.
There's nothing I can do about that.
That's right.
I'll just, yeah, I'll do it like this. Hunched over again. I like how better they're getting at this. Eh, Spyro.
Weird. What are you doing?
The old voice of him, whatever his name. Oh yeah.
Oh god, yes, finally! Some freaking peace and quiet. I thought that was gonna drive me nuts.
Sparks!
Yeah, Sparks. Screw him. Yeah, Spyro's got this. Just bitch slapping the whole time.
You asked for it!
Yeah, but I can only protect them so many times. Yeah, he's way outmatched. Common sense dictates to destroy the machine. Really?
Sec, was that a fruit?
Chill. And Earth Power. So yeah.
Woohoo! Strike! Where do you keep finding these things?
Yeah, it's not gonna do much.
I'm done with this.
Right. I don't think he can swim. Yeah. That guy again.
Nobody messes with me, pal.
Unless he got teleported. Nope. He did.
I don't think Aku Aku's gonna pull Crash from the grave after that.
Spyro had plenty of obvious advantages. His speedy flight let him control the pace of the battle, and his elemental arsenal gave him a much wider variety of attacks than Crash had ever seen.
Yeah, it was kind of an unfair fight.
Even with his extraordinary puzzle-solving skills, Crash was simply overwhelmed. But surprisingly, this wasn't nearly as one-sided as it looked on paper.
With the strength to throw an 8-ton boulder, Crash was actually stronger than Spyro. And both of them had survived impacts worth around 2 million tons of force. How convenient! It's almost like they planned this all along.
To be fair,
Oh yeah, I remember that episode
Spyro's
of
durability against the Golem
Skylanders.
However,
I
both
saw all
of
of
them
it.
had shown durability, which far exceeded much of their attack capability.
So even with his gadgets, Crash really didn't have a good way to hurt Spyro very much. But the funny thing is, Spyro didn't have many attacks that could firmly hurt Crash either. They were both just too tough.
Well, until Spyro used the Ether Breath, which could literally break matter apart at an atomic level. Not even Aku could save Crash from a beam that intense.
I guess Crash just couldn't spin this one.
The winner is Spyro the Dragon.
Yep. It's kind of obvious he was going to win.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode of Death Battle. If you want to get the battle music for yourself, you can get it by clicking the link below.
And if you guys want to see exclusive commentary on this episode, click that little box over there, first membership trial.
Okay, Keyboy and Angel Dude. Okay, loop, pause. Hey, let's have pause. Okay, pause. That was my reaction to Crash vs. Spyro, Death Battle. I mean, I obviously knew Spyro was going to win because I played that game like a religion. It was my personal favorite one. It tests all my skills, and I just mastered those video games like they were nothing. People are always so surprised how fast I learned video games. That's why I was always so good at them. You should have seen me in Halo. I was like the master sniper. I like sniped over 4 people until my own buddy finally killed me because he got so sick and tired of me killing everyone. But yeah, I just didn't like Crash because it was the only one that was just I never could get into. It was just too confusing. But yeah, well, ironic because he's supposed to be an autistic type playing game, but not every autistic person likes that kind of stuff. Everyone has their own thing. But anyway, hope you guys like the reaction and have a nice day.